Yeah, it's Johnny Grube, mantrain.com. You know, it's Father's Day, and I was reading something, and it's always from single guys. They always want to validate the reason why they don't have a woman. Then they go, or why they don't have kids, or things like. And these are older fucking men too, some of them. And it's kind of sickening because if you look at the way they were or who they are now, you can tell that they were little fucking weasels at one time, and they got caught up into the red pill and the pickup side of life, which is it still is laughable to me. And they still they still want to blame women. Again, men are the leaders, women are the nurturers. Men has given up their power, they have given up their power to the women, okay? Women don't necessarily want this power, okay? Women now who are working as much as men do, or not as much, but even working a 40, they seem to be more stressed. They seem to have more alcohol problems. They seem to have more drug problems. They seem to have the same problems with health as men used to have, okay? Heart disease and things like that. Now, that's because they've been fooled into thinking that they can do the things men can do, what men have done for fucking ever, and women were not. It's just changed over the few years, the last 30, 40 years, it started to change. More really in the last 20 years. Men have given up the power. Men want to give up the power because they don't fight anymore. Our balls have been cut, and it's been done on purpose, okay? It's done from the way they want us to eat, what they fucking tell us, men, they just don't want men to fight. They'd rather have men drunk and fucking high and not in fucking shape, or physical and mental fucking shape, to be able to fight back. Now, I talk about this from a fucking experience. I got 4 kids, 3 different women, okay? 2 of those kids, I had to go to court and I had to fight for visitation to see my children at first, okay? Then everything was good, okay? I seen my son every day that I could, okay? We didn't live far apart. I paid child support. My son lived with me almost, I would say, at least 50% of the time. I never said I couldn't take him because I wanted to go out and party. I never said I couldn't take him because I had a date. Never said that, okay? My oldest daughter, I got custody of her when she was 2.5. From the time she was born to the time she was 2.5, I had visitation, okay? And eventually I got custody of her, okay? I fought, okay? I used to have to go, and a couple times I had to go to the police station with my court order and chase my ex-wife down to get my kid, my daughter. Okay, I wasn't one of those men that said, fuck it, I can't fight the system. You know, men that do that are pussies. Because I can tell you right now, most men out there who say they want to see their kids but don't, they're fucking lying because they're not taking the actions to see their children. It's bullshit. Okay. See, when men say, "Oh, my wife don't let me see my kids or my girlfriend," why is that? Now, if I know you're already an asshole, personally, I can see why. And I'm not talking about being an asshole, just being a fucking an asshole. I'm talking you have fucking issues. You have abuse issues. You have fucking alcohol issues. You have drug issues. My question is, if your marriage was broke up, or your relationship was broke up because of you were abusive, drunk, drugs, why would they put their children in harm's way with no supervision from the mother? Okay, this happens a lot more than a woman just saying, "Oh, he's an asshole and I'm being vindictive because he hurt my feelings and I'm not seeing him." It does happen. Okay, women are vindictive and it does happen. Okay, but it's rare. It's more that men don't want to see their kids when they want to. I know men, personally, that only see their kids every other weekend. Well, what about the other fucking weekend? You're only a part-time fucking dad. No, because you want other things to do. You want to party, you want to hang out with your fucking friends, whatever. But they're your fucking kids, then you complain that you don't get to see your kids, or you fucking complain, "Oh, the woman or my ex-wife wouldn't let me see them." It's bullshit. What about the dad that's a fucking drunk? Okay? What about that guy? Okay? Should the mother let the children go with a drunk who hasn't gotten any help, hasn't proven that he's no longer a drunk? Why would they put their children in harm's way? Okay? Why? It makes no sense. So when people continue to blame the women for these things, okay? And like I said, I had a fight for my kids in the beginning, okay? But I still fucking did it, and I'm still not giving fucking men a fucking pass on this, okay? They're your kids. You're not a fucking weekend father. You shouldn't be a weekend father, okay? I mean, if you live in fucking far distances, I guess I can understand that. But see, here's the thing. I remember back in the day when my present wife, when we separated, we did for a short time. She moved my children, to Pennsylvania. My plan was to sell my house and move closer to my other two daughters, because my other two kids were grown just about. I was going to move closer to my other two daughters, okay? Because I was going to be in their lives, all right? That's how it was, all right? Luckily, we got back together, squared things over, and I didn't have to do that. But I was willing to sell my home to move closer to my daughters, okay? So I don't want to hear the past. Men make these excuses up because they want people to have sympathy for them. They want people to not realize that they're dickheads and they really don't want to see their kids. It's all ruse. It's a fucking, it's just put up. I'm going to say, I want to see them, but I can't. No, you don't want to. You don't fucking take action to see them. You don't make yourself a better person. You don't even make yourself you don't even look good to the fucking court system. Okay? It happens all the time, man. Okay? It's usually the man, okay, who fucks it up. Because there's a lot more fucking men that have custody of their children than you may think. Okay? Because the women were that bad. And usually, when people split up, whether, for whatever reason, they usually get to see their kids. And men that don't want to see their kids is because they choose not to see their kids. Okay? Remember, it's also the mother's job to protect her children. And a lot of these mothers seem to protect their children more than the father's going to protect them, because their father would rather fucking drink, hang out with their friends, go out at night than see their kids. I see it all the fucking time, man, from personal experience. So people out there that are single, okay, that are fucking getting their information off fucking the red pill community, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, most of them, okay? They may have a couple experiences with other people they know, or their dad, or something, but for the most part, man, they're a bunch of crybaby dudes who fucking got hurt by a woman and haven't gotten over it yet, okay? They're not man enough to fucking to speak up. They're not man enough to fight for their fucking kids. It's just easier to slink a fuck away into a, matter of fact, a quick story with me, one of my own personal experiences. And by the way, the ones I was just talking about were also personal experiences, not on my end, but people that are close to me. And my dad, when my mom and my dad broke up, my brother and sister and me waited for my dad to come for us on Christmas one day, and we waited and waited, and I knew he wasn't coming. My brother and sister, they were a lot younger than me, well, a couple years younger than me, and that kind of upset me, because I was 12, I guess, and my brother was 10, and he never showed up, and he showed up 3 days later, and he was drunk. And my dad wasn't an abusive drunk at all. No, he would just pass out. Okay, worked, just like to drink. Well, he showed up, 3 days later, and my mom didn't let us go with him. Why? Because he showed up drunk. Okay, my mom was not an easy person. My mom was downright difficult and mean, okay? And my dad chose not to fight to keep us in his life. He just chose not to, all right? Not bad-mouthing my dad or anything like that, but I would have not wanted to go with him either, him being drunk, because then I would have had to take care of my brother and sister, which, when dad's not around, the older brother does usually take care of the younger siblings. So these are personal experiences of mine. So when you got guys out there still complaining about the women and the Father's Day and shit like that, and how men don't get to see their fucking kids, like I said, most incidents, it's you, the man, you who have not been strong, you have given up your fucking rights, basically. You fucking didn't want to get better. You didn't want to make it easier so you can fucking see your kids. So in my opinion, again, men are the leaders, women are the nurturers. We gave up the fucking power. Happy Father's Day.